There was a moment in my life when I realized my body had been trying to tell me the truth for years, but I kept calling it anxiety. We were taught that anxiety represents a negative occurrence. And so whenever these emotions of anxiety begins to present themselves, it is an automatic response for you to brace and prepare for impact. But what I've learned through my years of integrating with my higher self is anxiety is a signal, and it is informing you of an occurrence to come. And at that moment that it presents itself, you need to go inward so you can gain clarity. And I'm going to tell you now, anxiety often represents something beautiful coming your way, but you wouldn't know that unless you tune in. Now, I know for me, one of the hardest places that I had to identify was the disconnection. Where, when in my life did I become unplugged? And so I want to talk to a few, I want to go into a few areas where I want you to start paying attention, okay? Because this is going to begin to rebuild your connection. The first thing is going to be ignoring that gut feeling. I want you to stop and think right now to a time where you had a feeling, you had a knowing, without a shadow of a doubt, and still, despite that nudge from your higher self, you still chose to go with that logical mind. And after the experience happened, you were able to identify the disconnection because you didn't listen. Listen, love. There is a navigation system inside of you right now. We are all equipped with an inner GPS system where we should follow, get our guidance from, our support, the answers to the questions that we have, anything that you need. This is where your navigation system comes in. But the only way for you to integrate with this system is you have to build up a rapport with your higher self. And so from now on, when you are presented with this gut feeling, trust it. Okay? The next thing is going to be hold on, give me a second. Pushing through exhaustion. Take it from somebody who knows. There was a time in my life where I could not tell you if I was coming or going. I didn't know what time it was, what day it was. And it's because there was a constant requirement of my energy, whether it be from my job, from my children, the dysfunctional relationship I was in, the active addiction I was still deeply involved in. I was being pushed, tossed to and fro. Not only that, in the midst of the tossing, there was no rest. There was no breaking because life didn't allow me that space. So moving forward, I want you to know, and please hear me when I say this, love. It is absolutely okay to rest. I know that when we rest, for whatever reason it is, you feel like you're lacking. like you're unsuccessful, like you're not accomplishing anything. But I'm here to tell you now, love, unless you take care of yourself, you cannot attain or maintain anything or anyone else. Resting is a part of you replenishing your system, my love. No car can run on E. That includes you. Make sure that you are taking time to nourish and replenish your vessel. Okay? The next thing is abandoning the body to survive. I've already told you here. One of the hardest truths I ever had to face was I did not know how to take care of myself. Mind you, I was a caretaker, a caregiver for a career, and I was a caregiver to my family and my children. It's all I did. But when everything was said and done, when everything stopped and it was time for me to go in and get myself together, return to myself, I had no idea where, how to start. So if you find yourself in this place, it is okay. But it is now time to prioritize yourself. Put yourself first. You absolutely must take time to love on yourself. If you don't have what you need, what you require, you are not thriving. And the last thing we want to do in this space, especially when we're trying to return to core, right? Who we truly are. You're going to have to step away from that old mindset, that old belief system that you have when it comes to yourself, your body, how you look, how you feel. So, moving forward, I want you to start spending time loving on yourself. I'm telling you now, you fall in love with yourself and everything else will fall into place, okay? Now, there is a shift now that is going to begin to take place once you begin reconnecting, okay? I'm going to say this now. A lot of these moments are not easy because they've been pushed down, put off, thrown to the side for so long. They've not had access to you. You've not had access to them. So make sure that you are understanding, compassionate with yourself in this time, especially when you find yourself in these certain moments that I'm about to get into, okay? Now, one of the first moments I want to talk about is moments the body says no. This one hits home for me. Remember, I've already told you, I am her. I've been through this space that I am now navigating you through. I can remember when I was just awakening, just reconnecting, just seeing, feeling things for the first time again. And one of the hardest things for me to sit with was the moments I told my body no. Because I could see, I could remember the moments, especially when I was in my addiction, where I did not want my body didn't want these things, but yet I had no control. At least that's what I thought, and that's what it felt like at that moment. And so I would sit there and ingest these things into my body. And I'm telling you, the minute it happened, it became a battle. I called it coming unglued, because as soon as that substance would enter my system, I'd come unglued. I could not, just thinking about it here. It was one of the most horrible things I have ever been through, but not only that I've ever been through, that I put myself through. So, in those moments where your body is saying no, but that mind is still saying yes, that heart is saying yes, whatever it is. But when you find yourself in this moment, I want you to practice discipline. Implement discipline at this moment. Easy? No. Necessary? Yes. Okay? It may not stick the first time. I've already told you this, but that's okay. You continue to try and try and try again until it sticks. Because I'm going to tell you, there is going to come a point where you get tired, where you decide that you are done. And that's the moment it's going to stick. Okay? So trust your process. Okay? The next one is moments the body soften around the truth, but it becomes so uncomfortable that you harden back up. I know it hurts, baby. I know it doesn't feel good. But I'm going to tell you now, my love, you can, unless you feel, you cannot heal. So, when you find yourself in these moments of softness, of stillness, solitude, quiet, understand there is something major happening there. Allow yourself to go through it. Remember, that's a part of the alchemizing and the transmuting, is to go through the fire. But I promise you, you will not get burned. And at the end of it, you will receive beauty for those ashes. Okay? And last but not least, how safety feels in the body. I know when we get used to living in survival mode, chaos, unfortunately, it is what it is. Hurt, loud, constantly moving, busy, anxiety, overwhelmed, being overwhelmed. These things become our norm. You become conditioned to these things. And so when you find yourself in that moment of stillness, in that moment of peace, in that moment of calm, because this is the other thing, they don't happen much. So a lot of times they hit you randomly, and it's so random that it scares you. Not only does it scare you, you don't know how to be in this space. And one of the reasons you don't want to be in this space is because in that quiet, self comes to the surface. And I'm going to tell you now, my love, the safest place for you to be is with your higher self. God, the universe, Buddha, whatever it is that you believe in, my love. This is where you get your revelations. This is where you begin to understand all the lessons that you need to, so you can move forward. So you have to get comfortable being your safe place. I know it sounds like a lot, but I'm telling you now, no one will ever love you, support you, hold you. Do you hear me? The way that you can. This journey is all about you trusting yourself enough to fall. And when I say fall, I mean fall into your higher self. Okay? So I want you to keep in mind, baby, the body doesn't scream. It whispers. But the problem is we're often moving too fast to feel it, because we always rushing, always doing. So the next part of this journey, I want you to know. Can you hear me, girl? Listen. It's okay to rest. It is okay to take a break, no matter what it looks like. If it's just you sitting in quiet for 5 minutes, going on a walk, taking a nap, whatever it is, give yourself this space. Allow yourself this space. Honor this space. Because I'm going to tell you from experience, either you give your body rest or it will take it from you. And that doesn't look good. Okay? And let me just add this in. Let me just add this in right quick before I go on. Rest doesn't mean that you're lazy. It does not represent weakness. If anything, it represents strength and awareness, control. Okay? Give yourself permission to listen. You don't always have to know everything. I know the people expect you to, the job, the children, that relationship, whatever it is, your friends, family who constantly are pulling on you here. But you don't always have to have that. You don't always have to be that person. That is not your obligation. And in this space where you are returning to yourself, it is time for you to listen. Okay? Part of you now reconnecting and plugging yourself back in is going to be the ability to listen. Because your higher self is going to be communicating with you. In those moments where you feel overwhelmed, anxiety, stress, listen, go in. You will be surprised. I'm telling you now, girl, you will be surprised as to what you know and who you are. You just don't know her yet. And last but not least, and this is one that has taken years for me to learn, slow down. It is okay to move slowly. Doing too many things at one time creates space for error, because you're not allowing the full attention and time that you need to master whatever it is that you're working on. I'm a multitasker. I move quick. I'm naturally inclined to move fast. I used to move so fast it make people spin, but I didn't realize how fast I was always moving, because my life had me feeling like everything was in a rush. Everything was needed now. So I was constantly go, 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 go. That will kill you. That is exhaustion. That is overdoing it. That is running yourself into the ground. That is working against your system when everything out there is already working against you. If you're working against you, you are in, what's the word I'm looking for here? You in cahoots, look, with everybody and everything else. You need you right now. You need you right now. You need you to show up for you right now in a way that you never have before. And this is absolutely your opportunity. If nothing else, let this be the week you stop overriding yourself. Okay? Remember, your body isn't betraying you, my love. It is protecting you. This journey is about becoming, this journey is not about becoming someone new, my love. It's about returning to who you are at your core.